Chaz Marler from Pair of Dice Paradise here, and did you know that for the past 3 months, the card-driven story-adventure game, The Seventh Continent, has just dominated the top position on Board Game Geek's hotness list? The hotness list tracks which games on the Board Game Geek website are getting the most traffic. But this isn't the only chart that The Seventh Continent has been topping recently. On October 19th, publisher Serious Pulp completed a Kickstarter campaign for the second printing of The Seventh Continent, making the game available to over 43,000 backers who wouldn't have obtained a copy of the game otherwise. And that's because the Seventh Continent is one of several Kickstarter-topping games that are not planned to have a hobby trade release. And this means that the only place that this game will be available from is the company's Kickstarter. Now, in an article posted on the Geek News website, icv2.com, it was reported that the Seventh Continent's co-designer, Bruno Sauter, stated in an email that the manufacturing costs caused by the game's enormous size and amount of content make retail distribution cost prohibitive. That's fair. And ICV2 goes on to report that the developer of Kingdom Death Monster, Adam Poots, has expressed similar concerns, stating, quote, "A game this size could not feasibly be made without the community of supportive backers that we found on Kickstarter. It's just too expensive to produce and too vivid for distribution." Now, another thing that these two games share, besides both bypassing traditional retail trade channels, is that they are currently 2 of the 3 highest-grossing board game Kickstarter projects of all time. The Seventh Continent's backers spent an average of $161 on the game, and Kingdom Death Monster's backers pitched in an average of $643 each. And that's not even a typo! That's the actual number! Additionally, the company Monolith, who published the 11th current highest-grossing board game Kickstarter of all time, last year's Conan, has stated that their upcoming Batman the Board Game will also only be available through Kickstarter. So, alright, are we witnessing the beginning of a new trend here? Are these two games, with their higher-than-average price point and circumvention of the traditional distribution model, indicative of what we are bound to see happen to the rest of the industry in months to come? After all, 70% of the current top 10 highest-grossing board game Kickstarter campaigns took place within just the last 24 months. And 8 of these top 10 Kickstarters have an average pledge of over $100. Heck, half of them have an average of over $175. Does this have an impact on the rest of the board game industry? Well, I don't know. But what I do know is that when Fantasy Flight Games released the second edition of Mansions of Madness at Gen Con 2016, it was revealed with a $100 price point. But it sold. And sold pretty darn well. And at Gen Con this year, there were even more board games with a 3-digit price point released. So, are the high-profile, high-price point Kickstarters by independent and established publishers helping to nudge the average board game price upwards with fewer options available to consumers of where to buy from until this all just becomes the new normal for the board game industry? How much are the big-ticket board games revealed at Gen Con next year going to cost? And how many different outlets will customers be able to purchase them from? Well, I don't know that either, but us and our wallets are gonna find out. So, are we witnessing the begin of a new... Begin is not a word. Are we witnessing the birth of a brand new word here? Beginned! He beginned to make up words. He beginned to do this over again.